welcome back to Gallery Watch as we explore more of the Blender Gallery and Jane Graham's works.
These dolls are from Nigeria, where I started up a small handicraft business with the villagers in this remote area. And one of the young men said to me that he wanted to create a doll for every masquerade or celebration that they had in the village. And he said, have you got some material for me? So I just looked out all sorts of bits of material and gave them to him, and that's what he did. So he created these amazing dolls, and they're not presented that nicely, but I had to have a place to put a number, and I had to have a place where I could write what the doll was and when it appeared and what happened to it, you know, at different times of year. Because some of the celebrations were just for fun, but some of them were actually quite serious, the men's celebrations, when they'd all, at the end of the celebration, go off to the forest and they would kill goats and, you know, do all that stuff that they do. Sacrifice goats. I mean, lucky it was goats. Yeah.
That's true.
And so, yes, I think they're absolutely amazing. And I just can't believe how he just cut the cloth and stitched it up. And then he's actually stuffed them with material as well. They're all stuffed with material. And then he's made all these little things. Spears, they get bent because they're only made of foil, knives. This is a woman that's meant to walk around and at Christmas and give everyone food, and he's got the little hoof of a tiny animal in there. And this is a chook. A little chook. Oops, it's coming to bits. You know, he really made such big effort on the detail, bow and arrow, and yeah, amazing. These guys are from the Ekpe Society, and it has levels, and if you're very you gradually grow and to get to the top. And at the top, you have these Ekpe men who actually rule the village, really. And if they move village, the first thing that's built is the Ekpe house. Which, yes. And these are, so for the villagers, these are two of the representations of the Ekpe man. That, you know, they have this big, thick neck piece and a bell to ring so that they can tell people they're around. I mean, I love this one, and he's probably quite significant to the villagers, because if you don't give him money, this sack is said to be full of ashes, and if you don't give him money, he beats a sack and you get covered in ash.
Lovely.
Yeah. And this one, if you don't go along with what he wants to do, he pulls. It used to be stones in the old days, and he'd chuck a rock at you, but I've got black peppercorns on here because he had little black seeds on him, but quarantine wouldn't let them in, so they took them all off, so I stuck black pepper. But in the village they'd be fruit, and he'd chuck not an apple, a mango or something at you. So they all have their own little games that they play.
So when were these made?
We were in Nigeria in 1993 to 1995. So, yeah, what really amazes me is that how they're still in such good condition. I was given a big commission in Papua New Guinea some years back. I had to do 100 drawings or something for a hotel because they wanted them in their rooms. And I was absolutely fascinated by the colours in Papua New Guinea. And that's what influenced me to do this kind of painting in really primary colours. This was done in Christmas Island, where there were a lot of bats hanging in a tree near the water. And when the spray came up, you couldn't tell if they were bats or fruit. They looked like sort of luscious fruits hanging on them. That's the idea.
I'm here with George Kirkpatrick, who is the chairman of the Joondalup Community Arts Association. Can you tell us a little bit about what your association does?
Certainly, happy to. The association is a connection between the city of Joondalup and the artists of the northern region, the Joondalup area, and beyond that actually up to Yanship and Burns Beach and many other areas. And we're a community-based organisation, and we have the Blender Gallery, as you can see here this evening, and we provide the gallery at a fee to artists to have exhibitions. We also carry out workshops. We have member exhibitions. We have over 200 members on a normal average year, and they are able to put their artwork in on 4 occasions during the year, and they put a small, or they give a small donation or nomination fee to have that exhibition, and it's open to the public, as are all the exhibitions. We also have collaborative exhibitions where members will join together, where 3 or 4 of them might find there's a synergy between their various art pursuits, and they'll put those together in an exhibition. And they also, or because of our association with the city, any members are able to be involved in the Community Arts Award, which is held by the city and has wonderful rewards for winning different aspects of the exhibition or of the competition. So there are many values in being a member, and of course they make sales and get exposure and generate income from the very thing that they love doing.
So what plans has this gallery got in store for the remainder of 2010?
Well, we've just recently, as I said, the City of Joondalup and our organisation are closely associated, and the city has recently renegotiated the lease on this premises for 5 years. So we will continue to provide exhibition space for those that want to hire it, exhibition space for our members, carry out workshops and classes for children through to novice and qualified artists or recognised artists. And that's the premise of our organisation, and that will continue to be the foundation from which we base all our other activities.
All the pieces in the exhibition, this is probably my favourite. The spontaneity of it, the way it is so quickly done and yet so powerfully drawn. And there's a lot of nuance there if you have a look at the textures and the intonation that we've got here. The background is alive, and yet it's still dominated by the powerful figure of the dog in the foreground. So, you know, it's just a fabulous piece, and it really belongs in a major institution somewhere in this country.
Were you involved with the Blender Gallery before, or was you just your exhibition?
No, I've been on the board for 5 years, and yeah, the main thing I think that we see our role as being is just to encourage and inspire other people to put themselves out there, because most artists lack a bit of self-esteem, and if they can get encouraged to find their own feet and to do what they feel like doing, instead of worrying about outcomes. You know, the whole thing about art is that if you can just enjoy the creative process, that's enough.
Yeah.
If you get something out of that process at the end of it by selling a work or getting people to appreciate it, that's even more. But yeah, from our point of view, so there's a bit of an emphasis with our group here in Joondalup, the Joondalup Community Arts Association, to have a focus on workshops to, you know, help people to develop, you know, their techniques and perhaps look out of the square a little bit, you know. So that's yeah, that's what I enjoy being involved here with. Yeah. The other thing, you know, with the commercial galleries being as they are, it's very hard for young and emerging artists to get acceptance in the wider community, particularly if they haven't graduated at any of the recognised institutions, the colleges or the universities. So we see ourselves as being middle rung, to encourage those that may have even put off their creative output for some time. We've got a lot of older members, for instance, that have got time on their hands now. And so that part is really enjoying, where, people that are in their 40s, 50s, 60s or 70s can find a new lease of life in their creativity, yeah.
What do you plan to do next with your art? What's next on the card?
I don't know. No, I don't usually know. I usually exhibit in September, and I only exhibit in September if I've got something to exhibit. I don't work for September. I don't work for exhibitions. I just work, and then I look around and think, oh, there's something there, or there's something there, and then I book the gallery.
That's all the time we have here in Gallery Watch tonight. If you like what you saw in tonight's exhibition, they will be on display here at the Blender Gallery until September 12th. I'm Cassie Hart. See you next time.